Alright everyone, so it's time to talk about Hawkeye episode 5, titled Ronin. I'll go ahead and just let you know my overall opinion on the episode. It's got some really good stuff in it, and it sets up some really good stuff, but the episode's not as fun as they usually are, and I think that has to do with Clint and Kate being split up. With that being said, there is a lot of fun stuff that happens. Overall, I would say like as an episode, it's probably on the back half for me. One of the good things in it we're gonna talk about is Miss Florence Pugh as Yelena. She comes back and she plays a major role in this episode. You even get to see a little bit of backstory on her, and it's really just cool to see her come back. So pretty much what happens is Kate and Clint, they're split up because of the last episode, and you get to see a little bit of Elena's backstory, why she's there. It's pretty much Clint is still tackling the whole Ronin thing, and now Kate is benched, so she's trying to get back in the game. There's some Yelena stuff thrown in there. That's pretty much what's happening in this episode without any spoilers. Tried to say as much as I can without actually going into detail, so I think we're going to enter this breakdown right quick. So spoiler alert, you've been warned. Alright, so we open up and it's right after Black Widow. Yelena, she's doing her going and finding other widows, unbrainwashing them with the red smoke stuff. And they go to this place and they smoke the girl. Turns out she wasn't even brainwashed. Galyean goes into her restroom. She looks at herself in the mirror. She goes and she cups some water to wash her face. As soon as she goes up, she turns into dust. This was me watching it with my, eating? Waffles. That's it. Whoa! What? The blip? I just wasn't expecting it. So then the episode starts with Kate going home, and Eleanor's like, "Oh, Kate, look at you," because she's got some blood on her. And she's like, "Yeah, well, if it makes you feel any better, Clint told me, to go home. He doesn't need my help anymore," and all this. And they share some emotional stuff. And then Kate's like, "Mom, I feel like I need to tell you, me and Clint, we were doing this investigation. We even looked into Jack, and it seems like he's kind of dirty." So this is the thing though. Eleanor doesn't even seem surprised. She seems surprised, like a no crap. Kate knows, but not a, oh no, Jack, not Jack, Sketchy woman. She even said something like, "I bet you regret buying me my first bow." She's like, No, I don't. And they even tease the little bow. But then she tells Kate, "Go grab the rest of your stuff at the apartment, come back, live here." So that's where Kate goes. She goes back to the apartment, and it's just all blown up and everything. To her surprise, Yelena is there. And there's this whole "Are you trying to kill me or not" vibe. But they sit down, they have some life conversations over some mac and cheese. Yelena tells her how she wants to sightsee while she's in New York, and they just have this full conversation at first, and then okay, let's get down to business. And I don't remember what Kate asks about Clint, "Oh, you're here to something with Clint," and Yelena's like, "No, I'm here to kill him." There's some really funny stuff while they're talking there. One of the highlights of the whole episode, Yelena even mentions her dad, the Red Guardian. They mention the new Lady Liberty. She's like, "I want to see the new Lady Liberty," which would be the one with the shield that we're about to see in Spider-Man No Way Home tomorrow night. Kate's now "Well, I need to warn Clint." And she's very confused because, Clint and Natasha were super close because Yelena did tell her that she was Natasha's sister. And Clint is staying with Grills, who says he's come up with a name for the dog. You don't hear it. While he's staying with him, Grills is like, yo, we got those costumes made for you. Want to see them? And Hawkeye's like, ah. This is Hawkeye. He's like, ah. Not tonight. Not tonight. I'm like, it's because it's not the 6th episode. It's because it's not the 6th episode. That's what they like to do. I'm like, come on, just show us. But we'll get it next week. We'll get it next week. So then Kate comes back to her mom's place. Jack is being arrested. And he's super calm about it. He's like, man, I don't even work to date my life. You know, he's super rich. Like, what? I've just been framed. So he like tells Eleanor, he's like, yo, don't worry about me. I've just been framed. We're gonna get this cleared out. So they really make it feel like they're not in like business together on this side. But I have another theory, which I'll explain at the end. And then you see Clint go up to like this monument that's like tells the story of the first Avengers, and he has this conversation with Natasha, like he's like talking to her. Super emotional. I feel like I let out a couple tears there. So then you get a scene where Kate is just like voicemail spamming Clint, like, hey, look, I know you sound not ready for this, all this. And she's like, I've been practicing. She even does like, she keeps practicing the coin thing. I have a theory that's probably gonna come into place towards the end. Just wait. He taught her, and it shows her like steadily like trying. So like, don't be surprised. That comes and plays a big part in the finale. Just saying. Then there's a scene with the bros where they get almost shot in the head with an arrow, but ends up being just like a little messenger arrow that has a little message inside of it from Clint telling Maya to meet him at a certain place where she saw the Ronin last. And then Clint calls his wife, who I still think is like an ex-SHIELD agent or something. She knows a lot. And then you get the scene everyone, well, not the scene everyone's talking about, but like the action scene. You get Ronin versus Maya, and it's pretty cool. There's like a lot of cool sword stuff that she gets to do the mimicking. And then Clint, you know, threatens Maya. It's like, yo, you come after my family, you're over. And she actually like does this flip, gets the advantage on him, takes the sword, she's about to stab him, and then an arrow hits the sword. But she went and she got the old bow that she was talking about with her mom, the small one, from her room. Shows up, helps him out, gets an Uber, gets him out of there. And then Maya and Kazi are having this conversation, and then Maya like starts questioning Kazi because apparently he wasn't at a meeting the night her dad died. So like, I don't know if like that's gonna come to play in this show, or if that's gonna be more of an arc in her own show that she's getting later on. But we'll see. So then in the Uber, Kate tells Clint that the blonde girl was Natasha's sister. And he's like, Yelena. I figured he knew. Like, I figured like he'd at least know about her. And then Kate gets the text from Yelena saying, I know who employed me now. It was Eleanor Bishop, which is Kate's mom. And then she sends her a picture. And then Kate hands the phone to Clint and says, who's this person with my mom? You know who it is. I'm gonna say it anyway though. It's Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. I literally screamed, like, out of excitement. And then, like, the main credit thing, like, at the end where it zooms out and says Hawkeye, there's just, like, this Kingpin shadow over it. So dope. So dope. I'm a little pissed, though, that we don't have an after credit scene. That was episode 5, and there's no after credit scene. But I suppose we'll get one next week. Back to my theory about Jack getting arrested, now that, you know, Kingpin is involved. If you've seen the Daredevil show on Netflix, he most of the time has police officers working for him. So they could have been on the whole thing. It could have been a stage just so Kate would be like, oh yeah, look, he's getting arrested. Or there's the option where they find out and they free him. And since his character is known as the swordsman from the comics, he will be able to help, which I would like to see Jack in action, for sure. I hope they don't kill him. I really learned to like the guy in the last episode. Very excited to see that Kingpin is in the MCU. I'm very excited to see Matt Murdock tomorrow night, maybe, in Spider-Man No Way Home. And yeah, it's just so cool that the Netflix things might be canon now. But I know there's like a lot of multiverse breaking around, so I don't know. But I'm so excited to see where the MCU is going with all of this. Very sad that next week's our last week of Hawkeye, but I'm ready for that finale, don't get me wrong. So, thanks for watching my review. That concludes it. Leave a like, subscribe, leave your own fan theories, what you think is going to go on. Do not spoil Spider-Man No Way Home in my comment section or you will be blocked. Can't wait for next week, and I'll see you next time.